Kia ora, ko whasmataho. Nā mai ki te whare, welcome to the House. The early business in Parliament's House this week was mostly a continuation of events that concluded last week's Thursday sitting, which was a bit of a cliffhanger. Really though, Tuesday afternoon in the House was enough of a plot continuation that it wouldn't have been a surprise if the Parliament TV coverage had begun with a recap sequence headed previously. The first business on Tuesday, after the very brief swearing-in of the new Green MP, Michael Davidson, and welcome to him, was a ruling from the Speaker about the overlong maiden speech given by new Te Pāti Māori MP Orini Kaipara last Thursday.
Members, last Thursday afternoon I suspended the House for what I considered to be disruption coming from the galleries of Parliament. This disruption occurred after the maiden speech of Orini Kaipara.
The Speaker's primary beef today was that the speech had bulldozed past its agreed duration, and it is true that Kaipara's maiden speech went long.
My uncles, my cousins, my nephews, my nieces, everyone, I hear you. Kei te pai. Thank you for being here with me. I know how unnatural this is for all of us.
The speech itself was about 4 minutes over the 15-minute slot, and then there was a 3-minute waiata. From the Speaker's ruling, it seems that he has determined that the haka that followed on from the waiata, and which led to him suspending the sitting, wasn't obviously the fault of an MP, and so that wasn't his focus. I'm sorry not to be able to play the entire Speaker's ruling, but it was itself quite lengthy at about 6.5 minutes. The culmination, though, was this.
It's my intention that from this point, I will more critically apply the limited measures available to a Speaker to ensure greater respect is shown from members one to the other and to the dignity of the House, and the processes of the House are upheld. Later this afternoon, I intend engaging the Business Committee on changes to attendance records, to dress standards and to leave provisions. Further, from today, question time in the House will revert to Standing Order 3971 and supplementary questions will be entirely at the discretion of the Speaker. Respect and dignity should be at the front of minds for all members of this House.
I expect we'll hear more specifics about that in the near future. Tune in for more, as they used to say in radio serials. And that was not the only plot point that needed picking up from Thursday. There was also this. Duncan Webb.
Where fewer than 20 members attend the House to vote or abstain on a personal vote, the vote is of no effect. It appears we have 13 members who attended the House to vote, and it would appear, therefore, that that vote is of no effect.
That was back on Thursday, when not enough MPs turned up in the House to make a vote count. The vote was being counted in person because the bill under debate, one to allow broadcast advertising on Sundays and on public holidays, had been determined a conscience issue. And so, with the first attempt at a vote tossed out, today's MPs had another crack at it. Second time round, the opposite was true. The government benches particularly were heavily populated to make sure the same problem didn't occur again. It didn't. This time round, they screwed it up an entirely new and creative way.
Act, New Zealand.
11 votes in favour.
New Zealand first.
We called for a personal vote. Point of order.
Labour whip Glenn Bennett raised the issue once the vote was finally concluded.
I just want to seek clarification. It's very clear in standing orders that a vote is not allowed to be interrupted. And we've experienced that in this House this year with 4 people being sent to privileges, and the vote was interrupted on this in the first instance, and I want your clarification why that was.
Good, I'll give it to you tomorrow.
It seems MPs just aren't that used to the uncommon rules on the uncommon voting methods. But they did get there eventually, which means that the Broadcasting Repeal of Advertising Restrictions Amendment Bill was successfully passed and will now become law. You've been listening to The House, Te Whakarongo Koe Ki Te Whare. This program is produced with funding from Parliament's Office of the Clerk. Mā te wā.